everyone, it's Micaela. So I started a new series. It's called Girl Chat with Micaela. So I really just thought it could be a place where women could encourage each other and we could talk about different topics that relate to women. Just really creating a safe space where we could talk about different things, because I feel like many times we're going through things, but we don't always tell people what we're going through because we're afraid that they're going to judge us or that we might become, their project and they might try to fix us, because that's happened to me where, maybe I'm connecting with someone and I share something and then suddenly it's like, wait a minute, I thought we were friends. I'm not trying to be your project. So really I created the Girl Chat series as a way to go a little bit deeper because as many of you know, I do have the Coffee, Jeans, and Jesus podcast, and it's where I bring truth and encouragement to women. But I'm really trying to create a space where we could just talk about things that maybe, we normally wouldn't talk about. So the series actually came from a place of, I guess, my own insecurities and really understanding there's women going through real things, but they don't always want to share because for the reasons that I mentioned, we're afraid that people are going to judge us or think something about us. And so this week is my first episode and I'm talking about insecurity. So many times, hi everyone, many times we feel insecure in certain areas, whether it's physical or in our capabilities. We might feel inadequate in certain areas of our life. And sometimes, we're looking at social media and we begin to feel like, oh man, I don't look like that. I don't do that like that woman. But here's the thing. Social media is a great platform, right? I, as a mother, love to see other moms sharing pictures of themselves with their kids in their natural, state, and really just in embracing motherhood. And it's easy though when people are going through things to begin to compare themselves. And that's kind of where it gets tricky. So I think that we need to remember that as women, we need to learn from each other and teach each other and not try to compete with each other or compare with ourselves to some other mom or other women. We need to really just embrace that we are all different. And many times, for those of you who are mothers, or maybe you're a stay-at-home mother and you feel like, well, I don't do that like that mom, right? I don't, I'm really not doing anything. I'm just cleaning and cooking and taking care of the kids. Guys, when you're doing that, you are doing something so amazing, and God looks at that and wow, that's an amazing thing for a woman to impart into their child, right? Because God has trusted you with your children. So whether you are a stay-at-home mom or a working mom, just remember that you are the mom to that child or those children, and it's okay that you don't do things like other moms do. It's okay that you let your kids have ice cream in the evening or cereal in the evening. It's okay that some nights you're like, hey, I'm not cooking today because I'm tired. Can you have some Apple Jacks, right? So those things are okay, and that's kind of what this first episode is about. It's about insecurity because we do feel inadequate at times. We do feel like, we're not good enough. And when we feel that way, we have to remember that yes, we are flawed. We're not perfect. But in the same way, God gave us strengths. God gave us different gifts. God gave us different abilities. And so it's okay that, we maybe struggle in a certain area because, as women, we're going through different stages of life. And maybe the stage that you're entering, the thing that you're learning and struggling with and trying to overcome and gain victory in, maybe there's another woman that has already gained victory in that area. So that's why, as women, I think it's awesome when we're able to teach each other and learn from each other and say, hey, I'm here for you. Let me help you, right? Because sometimes we need that. So that's what I want you all to remember. That in the same way that, yes, we have our flaws and yes, we are insecure, in the same way, we also have strengths, gifts, and abilities that God has given us. So we don't have to compare ourselves to someone else, because in those times when we feel like we're falling short, when we feel like we're a failure, when we feel like, man, I'm just not cutting it. I'm not adequate in this area. You have to remind yourself that yes, although you have those, those things about yourself that maybe you could improve in, maybe you can work at, you also have strengths. Maybe you're very good at writing and another woman isn't. Maybe you're very good at cooking and another woman isn't. Maybe you're an excellent mother because your kids are already growing up. And maybe there's another mother that's struggling to kind of juggle it all. So it's okay, because God gives us each unique talents, gifts, and abilities. So when you feel like you're falling short, just remember that God created you for a purpose. God created you with a purpose. You're not here by accident. No matter who told you that, oh, you were just an accident, or whoever spoke things over your life, over you as a person that, were hurtful. You have to remember that God created you. And if you're watching this and you're struggling with depression, and you feel like unmotivated, you feel hopeless, you feel like, I'm just not good enough, I'm just inadequate, I'm not cutting it, I'm never going to be okay. I've been there. I've been in those places of being depressed. And it doesn't feel good, right? And it's a very hard place to be, because you don't want to be feeling that way, but you feel that way, and your feelings are there and they're real. And the more you try, the more you're still depressed. And I think in this time when things have changed, I think a lot of people have really felt some of that depression, because so much changed. Some people lost their jobs, but in those times, God is with you. He has not forsaken you. I think in those moments of darkness and trials is when I really see the faithfulness of God and who He is. And so just remind yourself that God created you, and no matter what you're going through, no matter how you feel that you're not good enough or you're insecure in certain areas, please know that you still have a purpose and He's not done with you. And so I'm going to leave you with a verse really quick. And you might have heard it already. You probably have. But it's Psalm 139. And it says, "For you created my inmost being. You knit me together in my mother's womb. I praise you because I am fearfully and wonderfully made. Your works are wonderful. I know that full well. My frame was not hidden from you when I was made in the secret place, when I was woven together in the depths of the earth." So when you read this, you really begin to see that God knit you together in your mother's womb. I mean, realistically, we can only look inside through an ultrasound. But God knit you together. He knit you and He formed you, and He saw your unformed body in there, right? And so verse 14 here says that you are fearfully and wonderfully made. And that's what I'm going to leave you with. When you're feeling inadequate, when you're feeling insecure, when you're feeling like you're not good enough, when you make a mistake and you mess up, remember that you are fearfully and wonderfully made. You are God's masterpiece. And He's not done with you, because He created you with a purpose. And so that's what I wanted to tell you all. So please join me once a week. On Mondays, I'll be doing the Spanish episodes. And then Tuesdays, I will also be having an English episode on the same topic. So join me for Girl Chat series every Tuesday. And then remember that I do have the podcast as well. So that's Coffee, Jeans, and Jesus. And thank you so much for sharing a few minutes of your time. I hope that you have a wonderful and blessed day. Bye, everyone.